Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
I think I overdid it again. Dr. Shealy, does it smell like bliss in your studio too?
It does, but you know, Vince, just hearing you laugh always raises my bliss level.
Oh, I was thinking about some of the trouble that I'm getting myself into, and it's so easy, you know.
And fun.
And a lot of fun. Yeah, for me. But for others, it's not so much fun. I'm talking about like the city of Lebanon. Everyone all set, cocked, locked. Here we go. 2 hours of USAPrepares.com with Dr. Norm Shealy. And Trevor's engineering the broadcast in Minnesota. And we're going to talk about, so many medical things that I've got on my list. But, you know, before the broadcast, Dr. Shealy, Trevor said to me, is it possible to have too much caffeine? And he did he did. He had the equivalent of 4 espressos this morning. What do you think about that? Is it possible to have too much caffeine?
Yes. For the average person, 2 or 3 cups of coffee, which is a maximum of 450 milligrams of caffeine a day, is pretty safe. But the more you go above that, the more stress it actually produces on your total body. And in fact, I know someone who actually went to near death, had to be resuscitated with excess caffeine. So, there's like most things in life, moderation is the best. Now, personally, I drank something called Gano, Gano coffee, which is a mixture of black coffee and reishi mushroom, which improves the health benefits tremendously and minimizes the amount of caffeine. Actually, 1 cup of it only has 50 milligrams instead of up to 150 milligrams of caffeine. So in general, my caffeine intake is not more than 100 milligrams a day.
Dr. Shealy, I often get criticized here at the farm because I do something that no one likes except me. Our children don't like it. Mrs. Finelli doesn't like it. I don't think my mom likes it. If I'm going to have juice, let's say cranberry juice, I'll dilute it maybe with 50% water, ProPure water. If I'm going to have grapefruit juice, the same thing. Lemonade, rarely do I have it, but if I were to have it, it would be probably 2/3 water, 1/3 lemonade. Tea, I'll make a pot of tea, one of those commercial coffee pots that have the round bottom like a bun coffee maker pot, put that on the gas cook stove, and 1 tea bag, and I'll leave it in for a very, very short time. If it's, like a orange pico or cut black tea or green tea, just 1 tea bag. If it's chamomile, just 1 tea bag in 10 cups of water. So I dilute just about everything I drink with water more than anyone else would, I believe, or most people would. And when I make coffee, in the standard coffee maker, I probably would use about half as much coffee in that coffee maker as as would be recommended by the coffee manufacturer. So, is that a good or a bad thing to do?
Well, no, it's obviously good. Now, with the whole juices, like grapefruit, orange, that sort of thing, I don't think there's any necessary reason to dilute them. With cranberry juice, the average so-called cranberry juice is mostly some cranberries in a lot of water and sugar. I do not buy regular cranberry juice. I buy the totally all-juice cranberry. Now, what they sweeten it with is usually apple and pear juice, but at least it's 100% juice, so whatever sugar is in there came out of the fruit, not out of a, sugar bowl.
Right. And if you look at the cranberry, what's called cranberry juice cocktail,
right?
The color's not the color of cranberry juice. It's like a brighter red, whereas cranberry juice is more of a brownish red. So I drink the same kind that you do.
Well, the other thing is, by the way, I take every morning 4 cranberry capsules, which are pure dried cranberries. No sugar, nothing but cranberries. And the reason I do that is to keep the urine at an acid rate. You want the pH of your urine between 5.5 and a maximum of 6.5. And it just helps to have the cranberries.
Okay, so that, Dr. Shealy, based on what you're saying, then we should have pH test strips. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. You should check the pH of your saliva and your urine. The saliva, I would like 7.4, and anything below 7 is seriously damaging to your health. In the urine, anything above 6.5 markedly increases your risk of urinary tract infections. So I like mine to be at 5.5.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, we have a significant delay this morning. I'll fix that at the break, or I'll try to fix that at the break. 7.4. Now, you're 5.5 to 6.5 is the pH of urine. That's your desired range. What was it for saliva?
Well, I like it at 7.4, but when it gets below 7, you're in trouble.
Okay. And what do we do if it's below 7?
Well, you cut out things that increase the acidity of your blood. There's a difference between what you take in and whether or not it's acid-producing or alkaline-producing. For instance, citrus, which is actually, all citrus is itself somewhat acid, but in the body, it produces an alkaline response. All fruits, except rhubarb, cranberries, and plums. All other fruits are alkaline producing.
That's so confusing to most people because, we remember chemistry and we remember acid and bases and baking soda and vinegar, and we know which is which, and we know the reaction. It's so hard for us to understand, or at least me to understand how you can take a citrus fruit, which is absolutely like a lemon or a grapefruit or an orange, and that would be in the body alkaline producing. Is there a way to remember that? Is there like a phrase or something to remember which foods are alkaline producing?
I don't know of a memory phrase that will do it. I just have done it for so many decades that it's natural to me. Cranberries, plums, and rhubarb are the acid-producing. CPR. Ah, there you go. CPR.
Okay, cranberries, plums, and rhubarb.
Plums and rhubarb. They are the acid-producing. All other fruits are alkaline-producing.
And, the reason I mentioned that, when I was studying science in elementary school, my dad taught me a phrase called Roy G. Biv, R-O-Y, middle initial G, last name B-I-V. And it's a fictitious name. However, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. The visible spectrum. And that's how I can remember in order the colors of the visible spectrum. That's Roy G. Biv. And so now we have CPR for cranberries, plums, and rhubarb. Okay. Dr. Shealy, I have been experimenting with diatomaceous earth. And I've heard so many stories over the years about, the health benefits of it. And, some people say no, some people say yes. But the indication is that if you use food grade diatomaceous earth, which is not heated, not chemically treated in any way, just pure, micro crushed, silica from animals, one-celled animals years and years ago, the sharpness of the product, which is the consistency of flour, will kill parasites within the body. I got to tell you, I've been taking half a teaspoon at night, and when I wake up in the morning, I have so much more energy. It's astonishing. I'm very serious about that. And I don't seem to have the desire to want to eat as much food. But I'm like, here's how I would explain it. If you had one of those mega caffeine drinks, a mega caffeine drink, or multiple espresso coffees, the feeling that you have, the wide awake, alert feeling, is what I have without having any caffeine. After I wake up, having diatomaceous earth at night.
And it doesn't upset
What do you think about that? Do you think it
doesn't cause diarrhea or anything like that?
No.
Huh. Well, that's interesting, of course. We know that theoretically it is what I would call detoxing. Mm-hmm. It helps absorb and take out of the intestines any potential toxins as well as potentially parasites. So it could be both either that or taking away toxins would certainly give you more energy.
Well, this is kind of this is astonishing, the amount of energy that I have. I mean, I'm almost on the edge of fidgeting. Well, I am fidgeting. This amount of energy is great because here's how, maybe I can explain it this way. It's really easy for many of us, and I've heard this said at the meetups and people whom I meet. They'll say, "Boy, I don't have the get up and go. My get up and go got up and left." But I've got my get up and go. And this, I don't think this is psychosomatic. I think it's absolutely real. When we come back, can we talk a little bit more about this and what your thoughts are? Well, it's diatomaceous earth. Dr. Norman Shealy is with us. NormShealy.com. NormShealy.com. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Gold. It's like nothing else on Earth. From the Romans through the Renaissance, from the Industrial Age to the Space Age, gold has weathered the test of time. For 6,000 years, gold has remained the ultimate store of wealth. According to the World Gold Council and the U.S. Mint, demand is at an all-time high. The stage is being set for the reemergence of gold as the common-sense alternative to a fiat paper currency that gets weaker every day. Midas Resources is proud to offer the hard-hitting report that arms you with the truth you need need to protect you and your family from the Fed's plans for your hard-earned money. Don't gamble with your future. Call Midas Resources today and ask for your free copy of As Good as Gold. Call 1-800-686-2237 for the report the Fed hopes you'll never see. As Good as Gold can be yours by calling 800-686-2237. If you have ever thought about owning gold, you must read this report. Call Midas today at 800-686-2237.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, medical doctor, researcher, PhD, Surgeon of the Year, broadcaster, author of 31 plus books. And Dr. Shealy, so we've been talking about diatomaceous earth, and to try to explain this, I've been taking a half a teaspoon. Now, the normal recommended amount for human consumption is like a tablespoon. So I've been taking way less than that. And I feel the equivalent of wired without the jitters and without the effects that you would have with caffeine. I've noticed that I'm eating less, more energy, and this obviously can't be psychosomatic. It really can't. In my case, I mean, I know it's not. So I've heard of this with others. So, Dr. Shealy, I have enough diatomaceous earth in 2.5-pound canisters that we can bring some to the meetup. And if you'd like to do a study to medically supervise and see if others have the same benefits as I'm seeing, I would love to provide that if you would like to do that.
Well, of course, I'm a research junkie. By the way, I just found an article. Diatomaceous earth lowers blood cholesterol.
Yeah.
Just giving.
Yep. And blood pressure?
Well, it didn't say that. This is just one article, but it was people who had high cholesterol, and it gave them just 250 milligrams of diatomaceous earth 3 times a day, and it does lower cholesterol. So there, and I wasn't aware of that. I just happened to look up oral, stuff, and there it is. Another goodie to add to my list for cholesterol.
Okay. Well, it has a lot of health benefits according to the literature that I've been reading on the internet, including reducing inflammation. I mean, that's one of the things that it says on one of these posts, and I posted it on our website yesterday. So there's so many reasons, according to what I've read, that it'd be crazy almost not to take it. So with your medical supervision and with your overseeing and engineering of a study, I think it would be a wonderful thing to do. So whenever you want to do this, I'm ready. I have the sealed case of diatomaceous earth right here, and I'll bring it to your study group, and we can announce this if you want, and we'll do it at the meetup, if that's okay with you. I think that'd be the easiest way to conduct the study, because we've got people who, I trust. They're not going to make things up. They're not going to say, oh yeah, did this or didn't do it. I actually believe, our meetup group, because they've been with us for years.
How about May 11th?
1 second. May. Let's see. I'm looking at you got it. May 11th. Dr. Shealy. Meetup. Okay. Sounds good to me. Boy, that's going to be great. May 11th. So if you're interested in participating in this study of diatomaceous earth, May 11th, that would be at Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 o'clock, May 11th, Monday. That's in Springfield, Missouri. And I will provide the diatomaceous earth, no charge. And Dr. Shealy will provide the medical supervision. But, Dr. Shealy, we've got to make sure that we have, a regimen, and that those who are in this study will, literally go through the study and follow your directions.
Sounds good to me. I'll make up a protocol.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited. I mean, this is a first, because this just happened right here, right now, live on Worldwide Radio. A medical study supervised by a medical doctor, the real thing. I love it. Okay, so Dr. Shealy, one of the instructors that we introduced yesterday, his name is Paul Gauci, and he is a gardener extraordinaire. Okay, he's a West Coast guy, United States. And he said something that was absolutely stunning to me, and I have not quite recovered from what he said yet. And we were talking about life expectancy. His wife is a midwife, and we come back, I'll tell you what she said. And it's basically, we're not going to live longer than our parents. We'll be right back. By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610. Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Hi, John Hubner from Midas Resources. Are you tired of watching your hard-earned assets dwindle away? As government spending is out of hand and the Federal Reserve is creating in excess of $20 billion a week, are you tired of stockbrokers gambling away your hard-earned money? Is this market a setup for a crash greater than 1987? Too many of today's policies resemble those that led to the collapse of 1929. This is John Hubner, and that was me in 2007. And we all know what happened when the subprime credit bubble burst. By March 2009, the dollar lost 50% of its value. The entire U.S. banking system was on the verge of collapsing. Like all financial problems of the past, is history about to repeat itself? Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129, before it's too late to protect yourself. Will the oncoming catastrophe take all private IRAs, 401ks with it? There is a way to protect your hard-earned assets. Call me, John Hubner, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 129.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, and I'm all excited. We're going to be doing a medical study about diatomaceous earth and see if it works as well for others as it does for me. Ken, you're on the air with Dr. Norman Shealy and me, Vin Finelli. Welcome.
Good morning.
Hi, Ken.
Hello. Yes. Good morning. I have a question for Dr. Shealy.
I'm listening.
Hello.
I'm listening, Ken. Speak up.
Okay, thank you. Well, there must be a delay in the satellite here somewhere. I was diagnosed with a duodenal ulcer. What would you suggest I do?
Relax, and I'm not being facetious. Peptic ulcer, 99% of the time, is a result of excess stress. Have you been going through unusual stress recently?
Well, before I retired, I was in a high-stress occupation.
And when did you retire?
5 years ago.
Maybe you're stressed by retirement. I'm teasing, of course.
Well, no, I try to stay occupied and happy with what I'm doing.
And nothing else new in your diet or otherwise? You don't smoke?
Don't smoke. Have a glass of wine with dinner.
Yeah, okay. Not overweight.
Oh, I could lose 10 pounds.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, Ken, if you will send me an email, I will send you a download of my autogenic training. It is the single best and most studied technique for total relaxation.
Okay.
And I'll send it to you. It'll take you 18 minutes a day. If you will practice that, I think above everything else, it will help your ulcer heal faster than anything I know.
Terrific. I'll give it a try. And,
Norm at normshealy.com.
Norm at normshealy.com. Okay, I'll get that off to you. Thank you, Dr. Shealy.
Hey, thank you. Have a good one.
Take care.
Dr. Shealy, I think we've got some of the delay removed, so it should be a little better now. We had Paul Gauci on yesterday. He's new as an instructor here at usaprepares.com. He's a gardener, and his wife is a midwife, and they live a simple lifestyle. They are growing their own food, and they're very, very healthy. And his wife said to him, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact verbiage that he used, but basically yesterday he said that his wife observed that each generation seemed to live longer than the previous generation. So, each one of us is living longer than our parents and their parents and their parents and so forth. But now we will outlive our children. And that has really stunned me because I think he's right. What do you think?
Well, that actually is fairly well known and talked about in the medical literature. The reason is McDonald's and its clones, and Monsanto. I mean, I would say the so-called fast food, which to me is total poison junk food, and everything that Monsanto does are poisoning the world. So that children growing up today with those things alone are going to live less long than we are because we didn't have that in our first 40 or 50 or whatever years. Things began to get bad, in my opinion, probably in the 70s. But now we've got, 40 plus years of pollution, marked pollution all over the face of the earth.
Yeah, and it seems that, if you go to the Chinese factory outlet, where there's a lot of choices for things to eat. I don't necessarily want to call it food, but things that people consume. The drink aisle, if you will, has colors of the rainbow that I've never seen in nature. I'm talking about the greens, the lime green, that's, electric lime green, electric orange, electric pink, electric blue. Those are not colors, that you find in plants in nature. So obviously they're colored. And yes.
Yeah, a minimum of 60% of everything sold in a grocery store today is poison. Poison.
And when you say that, I'm not doubting it. I believe it's absolutely true. But what does the mother who is shopping for the food for the family who lives in a city, what in the heck are they going to do? And I'll tell you why I say this. Because I went to a farmer's market on the way to the meetup on Monday, 2 days ago. And I pulled in and I looked around and I left. And I'll tell you why. They had plants. They were growing plants, tomato plants for sale that were 3 and 4 times the price of the plants that I could buy that are heirloom plants at the local farmers co-op where I buy MFA, which is where I buy some of the farm supplies here in our little hamlet. 3 and 4 times the price of similar plants that were for sale at Orscheln. Farmers market prices to me are not a bargain, and there's no reason that I see why farmers should be charging so much, because they produce it and they're selling it. They're completely vertically integrated. There's no middleman, and yet these farmers market prices are so high. So what does a person do other than grow his or her own, Dr. Shealy? Seriously, exactly. I don't know what to do.
Well, you do the best you can. You shop around the outside in most grocery stores. Around the outside, you'll find your meat, fish, that sort of thing, and your vegetables and fruits. You can't be sure even of them, but they're the closest thing you can get to real food. And I would say that 99% of the so-called food on the inner aisles is junk. If it's in a package, it has more than one food and maybe salt. I don't buy it. It's that simple to me.
I am stunned by something that I observed, and I bought some hot dog rolls, and I left them in the freezer, and they were in the freezer for about 2 years. And we very, 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 very rarely have hot dogs. I mean, maybe if we had a package that would last us a year for the entire family. And I'm talking about, high-end hot dogs, not fish bait. Maybe they're all fish bait. But anyway, so I had this package of hot dog rolls. And I thought, I'll let the dogs try them. So I left them in the barn. Dr. Shealy, they've been in the barn for about a month. About a month. Opened, okay? Opened for a month. Even the mold won't eat these hot dog rolls. It's kind of like that McDonald's hamburger and bun and French fries that's in the museum. It's been there since like 1999, and it looks the same now as it did then, except the wrapper is a little aged. Dr. Shealy, even the mold won't touch this stuff. It's almost like it's an insecticide.
Well, you're right. It is poison, and so even fungi recognize that it's poison. So fungi has a higher IQ than we do. Yep. Oh man. I guess maybe we should start when we go to, if we're forced to buy these things, maybe we should start referring to them as insecticide. Can I have a little ketchup with my insecticide there, please? Oh, man. And that's another thing. Most ketchup has high fructose corn syrup. Well, that's junk. That's pure, unadulterated poison, just as poison as sucrose or table sugar. Incidentally, an idiot article in the New York Times today saying sugar is a stress reducer.
Yeah.
Sugar is a stress
Dr.
reducer.
Shealy,
it's a killer. I guess if you're dead, your stress is reduced.
Zero. Dr. Shealy, when I have sugar, it makes me tired. It it ramps me up for a short time, and then I'm tired.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to avoid it because it saps my energy. Now, is that just me, Dr. Shealy, or is that like the universal effect of sugar?
It is universal. The amount of time it takes to go to that varies tremendously. It can be 1 hour to 4 or more hours before it converts from extra energy to depressed energy. But it decreases your immune system for 12 hours or more. When you take, you know what an average so-called commercial milkshake has in it? Oh, a minimum of 25 teaspoons of sugar.
Dr. Shealy, what you said is alarming because I'm just thinking, okay, so we take this, this new improved inflation size bag of sugar, which is 4 pounds. It used to be 5 pounds. Now it's 4 pounds. So we take this 4 pound bag of sugar and we just open it very carefully not to spill any, put it on the kitchen table, take out our teaspoon, and we just start spooning 25 times. It's impossible for me to, I can't even imagine doing that.
You know how much
and that's
sugar
what you're talking about.
You know how
Is that
much
what
the average American has? We'll go to that.
Yeah. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing how much sugar is in everything. And when you go to a restaurant, they don't say, hey, what do you think of that nutrition? Was that awesome or what? No. They say, how was the taste? It tasted pretty sweet. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs. I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Youngevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Heart and Body Extract continues to receive positive testimonials from people who have experienced amazing results, like Reed.
I just wanted to send you a quick but a very big thank you for Heart and Body Extract. I've been on the formula for nearly a month now, and the improvement in the circulation of my legs has been simply amazing.
Reed was facing a tough choice.
I was facing surgery due to the severity of the 100% blocked arteries in both my legs. And my decision, waiting for surgery, to say no and try heart and body extract instead, has been thankfully the right decision.
And the result?
I can now walk up steps without noticeable pain.
Order Heart and Body Extract at 866-295-5305, 866-295-5305, or hbextract.com. Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and we're talking about sugar. How much sugar? Dr. Shealy, how much sugar are we talking about?
The average American eats 42 teaspoons a day, and that means many people are getting 84 because some of them are eating mine. I have not bought table sugar since 1970. It's not been in my house.
Dr. Shealy, so many recipes call for it. Salad dressing. If you make your own salad dressing, it'll say a third of a cup of sugar. Now, a third of a cup of sugar in maybe a half a quart of salad dressing is an enormous percentage.
Now,
Enormous.
first of all, you could use at least a third less and get the same sweetness with honey.
Mm-hmm.
And with honey, you get some amino acids and some vitamins and minerals. We buy only honey, unpasteurized honey. And, of course, again, we don't eat a huge amount. I probably do eat maybe the equivalent of 5 or 6 teaspoons a day.
We had Jeffrey Maddox from Springfield at the meetup last Monday, and he taught us how to raise bees, for our own honey. It's easy. It really is easy. And for less than $100, you can get all the materials that you need, build the box, and the bees will, they might even find the box, and you'll be in business, with just placing a cavity for them to live in. So, and you can have your own honey, plus, all the other benefits. So, Jeffrey Maddox will be back with us, and we'll talk more about it. But Dr. Shealy, I bought what I would consider maybe a lifetime supply of honey, about 10 cases of 12 quarts per case. And the reason I bought it is I wanted local honey, and I wanted to help my immune system improve with honey, and it's literally lasts forever. I mean, if I don't break the jar, it will last centuries.
That is true. Honey never goes bad unless it's exposed to air, of course.
Yeah, right. And it's the only thing, right? It's the only food that doesn't go bad without preservatives or refrigeration or, it just stays in its natural state. Mm-hmm.
All true.
So, and if your honey crystallizes, that's okay. It's okay. Now, some people don't like the idea that their honey's crystallized and they'll want to heat it. If you heat it, you'll destroy the enzymes. So, if it's crystallized, that's okay. And, Dr. Shealy, some people have come to our house and go, wow, that's real honey, because they see that it's crystallized. Now, it's not quite as appetizing as that stuff that comes in that little bear-shaped container and you just squeeze it out of that plastic bottle. But it certainly is the real deal. So do you recommend that we all have honey as part of our diet, Dr. Shealy, in terms of supporting our immune function?
Honey and, honey and lemon juice, for instance, fresh lemon juice and honey is a wonderful detoxifying drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when I was growing up, my dad would say, if I had a cold, he'd say honey and lemon in a little bit of tea. Small amount of tea bag, if you will, per the amount of water, honey, lemon, tea. And it seemed to work. And Mrs. Finelli recommends for a sore throat, honey and apple cider vinegar mixed together with some water, and just drink it slowly, sip it all day long. Have you experienced that?
I've never sipped it all day long. I usually make a tall glass and drink it with within the hour. But, I think it's good any way you take it.
There you go. Dr. Shealy and I will be right back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. And so some of the questions that I have are this new disease spelled Powassan. It's like Lyme's disease, but more powerful, if you will, more dangerous. Another question is, what about money? Is it dirty and do we need to be careful with it? Hair loss? And if you have animals in your house, do you live longer? And red wine, headaches, mood drugs, and electromagnetic radiation. Coming up next.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Registered pharmacist Ben Fuchs ensures he gets the best use of his mineral supplements by using Youngevity's Ultimate Enzymes.
If you start a nutritional supplement program and you find that you get loose stools more than you get any benefits from the supplements, there's a good chance that you're not absorbing the minerals. Now, here's the thing about minerals and mineral absorption. You need to have a functioning fat system. You need to have functioning bile. You need to have a well-functioning liver and a well-functioning gallbladder in order to get the benefits from nutritional supplements with minerals. It's very common that as we get older, we don't absorb fats, we don't utilize fats, and then you won't be utilizing or absorbing minerals either. I would be getting on the Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity. I'd be making sure I was taking it with all my meals.
To get optimal use of your nutritional supplements, order Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470 or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed. Dr. Shealy's with us, and this is hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Dr. Shealy, I was just looking at a post during the top of the hour news and commercial announcements about the Apple Watch. Now, you can get an Apple Watch, a highly sophisticated piece of electronic gear that you wear on your wrist as you would any other watch, for between $550 and over $1,000. And this Apple Watch measures your heart rate. It uses your heart rate to determine if you're wearing it. Now, that's all fine and good. However, there are people who have tattoos, and there are malfunctions being reported with the Apple Watch by the wearers who have tattoos on their wrists. So it seems that the black tattoos prevent light from entering past the skin into the wrist, which adversely affects the circulatory rate within the wrist, and the pulse isn't there, which the watch is measuring. It's not as strong, and the watch doesn't know what to do. So the reason I'm mentioning this is not that I would buy an Apple Watch, not that I would want an Apple Watch, not that I'm endorsing the Apple Watch, but what I am trying to bring to light is the fact that tattoos affect circulation.
Of course. I consider tattoos among the more unhealthy, that's the kind of thing you say, unhealthy habits.
Yeah. Yeah. And, one of the things that, our children are all single. We have a 30, a 29, and a 23. And they're all single. And they're all looking for, their spouse. And I'll tell you what, each one of them is finding it is extremely difficult to find an unbranded, I'm serious. I'm serious. And the term that I use when our children are, talking about this person they met, their father says things like, throw her overboard. I mean, there's so many negatives, including the branding. The children are, for some reason, interested in an alternate reality. Actually, it's not even a reality, an alternate mind experience. Not all of them are drug addicts, but some of them experiment with drugs. And of course, that's a problem for dad. Some of them are branded, with these, they call them tramp stamps, which is like a big stamp on the base of their spine. And that's a big negative for dad. I mean, some of them have tattoos, How does this happen? Are we looking at National Geographic and saying, hey, you know what? That hoop, that 4-inch hoop in that person's ear and that tribe that's really cool. I'd like to get one of those. I mean, when I go to a restaurant, which is very rare, and someone has one of those tongue rings in, or a nose ring, and I'm thinking, that thing didn't get there by osmosis. Somebody had to actually put that thing in her nose. Probably she did it. Probably before she got to the table where I'm sitting. I think I'm going to throw up. I'm leaving. I mean, I'm not interested.
Oh, Vince. I love you.
Well, I mean, Dr. Shealy, before surgery, do surgeons spit on their hands and wipe their hands together and go, okay, now I'm ready? I mean...
No. I for the last 40 years or so, I've said I don't even like to shake hands with everybody.
Right.
This business of I think the ring thing in any place other than a normal earring in a woman is somewhat more obnoxious even than tattoos, but it depends. I mean, the idea of putting multiple rings through everything, including the tongue, I mean, it's got to be as repulsive as anything I can think of.
Yeah, and especially for people in the public eye. I can just imagine going to the auto parts store. I haven't seen this, but going to the counter and then having someone, a guy licking his tongue, trying to figure out how he can get comfortable with this thing on his tongue while he's trying to get me the right parts.
Oh my! I just grinned at the break. I went over and got my morning lemon juice with honey and filled up a big tall cup because I was thirsty. Mm-hmm. You just reminded me that it was a good thing to do.
Yeah. Okay, so on the list here, I am before the broadcast. I write down all these little things that I'm thinking about, and one of the things that I wrote down was dirty Federal Reserve notes. And I remember my grandmother back in the 1950s, she would say, that money, she called it money, those Federal Reserve notes, those white piece of paper with dead presidents on them, that's dirty. You don't know who handled that. I thought, why is she saying that? And she's the same woman who, when she bought chicken from the supermarket or grocery store, would wash it in salt water. She'd buy a chicken and then skin it and then soak it in salt water to clean it. So she was very concerned about germs, if you will. Do we need to be careful when we handle cash, Dr. Shealy?
Nobody has studied that I know of. Mm-hmm. In general, I have not worried about it. Now, remember, it is important to keep your immune system healthy. And my immune system is, pretty darn healthy at any age, but certainly at 82. But I think it's because I do the things that keep the immune system healthy, and therefore I don't worry about touching money long enough to put it in and out of my wallet. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't lick it, but I think if you smoke, if you eat a lot of sugar, if you don't exercise, those things are going to make your immune system more vulnerable.
There's a post on the website, USApreparedness.com, that says, gorging on burgers, biscuits, and steaks for just 2 weeks. Let me repeat this. Gorging on burgers, biscuits, and steaks for just 2 weeks drastically increases the risk of bowel cancer, but a high-fiber diet can help reverse the damage. So they're talking about, those fast food joint burgers that can dramatically increase the risk of bowel cancer. And they're talking about fatty foods and the Western diet. And that's back to us not living as long, the current generation, the newest generation, not living as long as their parents.
Yep.
Back to that.
Everything affects everything.
Mm-hmm.
Either positively, negatively, or occasionally neutrally.
And, we're now hearing and reading stories about these Hollywood types who are having mastectomies. They're having breast surgeries because of breast cancer. There seems to be an alarming increase, at least in my opinion, of what I'm reading. The number of stories. Either there are more stories on the internet about breast cancer in women, and these Hollywood types are, saying, yeah, I'm having them cut off because, I'm predisposed to cancer and I'm just going to, prevent it. So I'm just going to have my breast cut off. Those kinds of stories are becoming more and more in the news, and more cancer stories are in the news. And from what I can tell, I think it's real. I think there are more cancers of all types than ever before. Dramatically, Dr. Shealy.
Well, it goes back to the same thing, toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the world is toxic, mm-hmm. and increasingly toxic because of Satan and the food mafia, mm-hmm. not to mention the pharmaco mafia.
So the only thing that I can think of, and as I'm talking about it, I've got in my hands 3 packages of seeds. I called White Harvest Seed Company up. Mike Knox is one of our instructors. He was at the Get Prepared Expo. He's been at almost all the expos. WhiteHarvestSeed.com. And I said, Mike, I would like to help children start a garden. I'd like them to be successful. And I'd like them to start this garden with heirloom seeds, open pollinated seeds. Can you put together for me my favorite, 3 of my favorite seeds? And this is what we grow in our garden. Red tomatoes, green peppers, sweet peppers, and hot peppers. Those three packets of seeds. Can you put them together in such a way that we have the instructions to grow them, and young people can learn how to grow their own food and be successful. So not only does it have to be nutritious, but they have to be successful. The garden actually has to grow. Can we do that? And can we make them available where I can ship them out at a cost of $5? Prepaid shipping. $5 total, out they go, with the instructions and the seeds. And they'll never have to buy seeds again if they save the seeds. And he said, yep, we can do it. I have the seeds. I have them, and we can start shipping them today. Dr. Shealy, what do you think about that? Getting young people to grow their garden and in such a way that actually they will be successful. I mean, it's one thing to plant the seeds. It's another thing to eat the fruit.
Well, I totally agree. You know, I've said for years that people can live in a city and have a yard. Instead of having a lawn, they should have a vegetable garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in class, I'm going to do my best to get this posted on the website at the store for $5, shipping paid, ready to go. 3 packs of seeds with the instructions, and you can grow them in a pot if you want. A big pot would be better, but one where you can control the water and the sunlight. We'll be right back. By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Gold isn't for you? Ted Anderson, president of Midas Resources, one of the world's premier gold and precious metal investing firms. I get it. Buy gold if you believed that the government is doing a great job, that the Fed will stop handing out trillions of dollars like bailout candy, that Social Security would be there for you. That's not what's happening. You might even pass on gold if the stimulus package wouldn't fuel inflation, or that the dollar wouldn't lose value, or that your retirement would be secure. If all looks rosy to you, then now is not the time to buy gold. For the realist, there have never been more sobering reasons to diversify with gold. Since 2001, the U.S. dollar index has tanked 30%, while gold has risen 300%. Right now, savvy investors are adding gold to their portfolios. You should too. Find out what they know. Call us and I'll send you 10 reasons why gold will do very well, free. 800-686-2237. 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota. Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the hosts you're listening to right now online at gcnlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at gcnlive.com.
Dr. Shealy, Mrs. Finelli and I were watching a video last night. It was an old rerun of Mission Impossible. And, late 1960s, early 1970s television series. And so we were able to watch that without commercials, and it's kind of neat. Anyway, so we sat down, and we have this television screen in the kitchen, and we don't have over-the-air television, or do we have satellite or cable, but we can watch videos in the kitchen. So we have a little sofa in the kitchen, and so we sat down to watch Mission Impossible. My mom was there, and the two dogs came over, the ones that hang out inside, and TJ and Ayudi, the mastiffs, they came over, and they're leaning against us, and then the cats came over, and it was the whole family except for three of the dogs who hang out outside. We're all there. So the cats were there, the dogs were there, and we're all watching. Yeah, Jake the calf is out with the rest of the herd. We introduced him, so he wasn't there. But the whole family was watching Mission Impossible. And the point I'm trying to make is we have a mastiff, and if I sit down, he will sit down right next to me, and then he'll kind of lean over, and he'll put half of his, body weight on me, and he wants to be hugged. And then Ayudi, the Neapolitan Mastiff, she wants to be leaning, and she wants her hugs. And then the cats jump up on the sofa, and everybody's right there. I mean, everybody's like side by side by side by side by side by side, and real close. And I'm wondering, and I think this is a really wonderful experience when the animals feel so at home, so loved that they want to be right next to humans. So I'm wondering if that experience is one that will help us all live longer lives. The experience of, and your dogs hang out with you. They just love seeing you, and they want to be with you. Same thing over at your place.
Oh yeah, the evidence is quite good that basically oxytocin, my favorite chemical in some extreme, is oxytocin because it's the one that moderates how you feel and makes you feel good and nurtured and all that. And petting a dog increases your oxytocin. And indeed, children who are raised with a household pet, dog or cat, have far less asthma than children who don't have pets around.
What I found out was we have a couple area rugs in the kitchen and in front of the sofa. And what I did a couple months ago was I just wanted to see what would happen if I got down on TJ's level. And TJ is an English Mastiff, about 200 pounds. And so I got down on the floor and I stretched out on the floor. He came over to me, he looked at me, and then he climbed on me. So his front half, was perpendicular to me, and he just climbed on me and he wanted a hug. And now every time that I get on the floor, he will either climb on me, hug me, lean on me, lean against me. But it's I don't have to call him. He just comes right over and he wants that close attention. And some of the other dogs have seen him do that, and they've learned from him that they want to do that too. I've never seen anything like that, Dr. Shealy. And I guess maybe it's
same.
Yeah, that's your dog. Yep.
My German Shepherd, yeah.
And German Shepherds are very, very close to humans. I mean, they really love us, right?
They are golden retrievers and shepherds, I think, are the most humanoid of the dogs.
Mm-hmm. 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 Great animals. Red wine, Dr. Shealy. Last night, for the very, very first time in a long, long time, I had a small glass of red wine. Now, in Italian families, it's common to have a gallon of Burgundy. I mean, that's just common, right? Italian families have a gallon of Burgundy lying around, and it doesn't last long. Well, my mom likes to have a small glass of red wine with dinner, and so I poured her some out of this gallon, and I thought, I'll have some too. And so my question is, when we come back, is it good? Is it bad? Now, maybe 2 ounces. I didn't have much, and I didn't want much. And I said to Mrs. Finelli, boy, if I were thirsty, this is not what I would drink. We'll be right back. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right, that's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Positive results from satisfied customers of Heart and Body Extract continue to pour into our website, hbextract.com.
This is Al from New Jersey. One day I saw your ad for Heart and Body Extract, and it mentioned that it would help me with angina. So I decided to order. I figure I had nothing to lose.
Heart and Body Extract supplies your body with everything it needs to balance itself and maintain optimal heart and circulatory health with no negative side effects.
I took the formula 3 times a day as directed, and I kid you not, within 4 days my angina pain was completely gone.
Order HB Extract by calling 866-295-5305 or online at hbextract.com. That's 866-295-5305 or hbextract.com.
I could not believe it actually stopped the pain. Heart and Body Extract actually works. This is just an amazing product. Even the numbness in my hands is completely gone.
Heart and Body Extract for a long and healthy life.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you'll get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, normshealy.com. And if you'd like to go to his website and read about optimal health, absolutely free, normshealy.com, normshealy.com. And in about an hour and 25 minutes from now, Dr. Shealy will be on Hay House Radio, hayhouseradio.com. And you can listen to more of Dr. Shealy today. HAYHOUSE radio.com. Dr. Shealy, we're talking about red wine, and I mentioned that Italian families seem to have a gallon of red wine, in most homes, and ours is no different. My mom and dad would have a small glass of red wine with dinner, and they thought that it was good for health. My grandparents did it, lived to be in their 90s. And it seemed to work for them. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the evidence is pretty good that a glass, certainly never on a regular basis more than 2. And a glass can be up to, 4 to 6 ounces. It does seem to increase health in most people. And it's because of a chemical called resveratrol that's found in red wines and not so much in white wine. But it does seem to increase immune health and therefore overall health, and cut down on heart disease, stroke, etc.
Okay. Well, that's kind of what we thought. And that was, an old, maybe wives' tale, mother's remedy, things that have been talked about through the ages, and my grandparents talked about it, and I'm sure their parents talked about it, and so forth. And it's been passed on, and I just want to make sure that we had a medical opinion on that. So red wine in moderation is good.
Yes, you'll find many scientific articles on the antioxidant benefits or the fact that it can help lower blood pressure, burn fat, improve immune function, et cetera.
Okay. I just posted on the website during the last break an article about breastfeeding, and it said that it can reduce the risk, breastfeeding can reduce the risk of breast cancer. Well, that seems pretty intuitive to me. That's a normal thing that mothers have been doing for a very, very long time. Why would it not be beneficial, right?
Well, again, there's huge amount of scientific evidence behind that. Not only decreasing the later in life risk of breast cancer, but decreasing allergies, improving the immune system, improving brain function, really. Babies who are breastfed for up to 6 months minimum just thrive much better.
Isn't that interesting? And then back in the 1950s, modern science told us women, in the 60s and 70s. Now, I guess it was the 60s and 70s. A formula is so much better. You can give your child a kickstart right out of the lab, and this is a better way to go than breastfeeding. And why be tied down? I mean, heck, why be tied down to your child when you can give them this chemical formulation approved by scientists?
Junk. Almost as bad at McDonald's.
Yeah, endorsed by marketeers everywhere, right? Dr. Shealy, there's this new disease. Well, I don't know if it's new. It's a disease, and I'll have to spell it because I don't know how to pronounce it. Powassan. And it's akin to Lyme's disease, but it seems to be much hardier, much more dangerous. Have you heard of that yet?
Yes, it is a new increasing threat, a tick-borne disease. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, at this point, as far as I can tell, there's no lab test for diagnosing it.
Yeah, and there's no cure.
Well, that's debatable. There is some evidence that the same antibiotics that kill the Lyme disease organism can also cure this one if given early on. The problem is it isn't diagnosed early on, and therefore then you can't kill it.
Okay, so avoidance is what we need to do. We need to avoid being bitten by ticks.
Well, the avoidance is checking your body every day you've been outside your house to be sure you don't carry any ticks with you, because taking a bath or a shower does not get rid of ticks.
Right. Now, what I do immediately after coming in outside from being on the farm, if I think that I've been exposed to ticks, what I'll do is I'll hop in the shower. And I use like a natural soap, and I can feel these little things on my skin, and that's how I can tell before I have been bitten for very long, because they seem to bite, and it's hard to tell that they've bitten you. But you start itching after a while. But before we start itching, I find if I hop in the shower that I find them and I can pick them right off, and down the drain they go. I've tried to teach ticks to swim. I have been unsuccessful. I can't seem to teach them how to swim. So I'm going to keep trying. And we keep a little cup of water with some detergent, a drop of detergent in it by the kitchen sink. So if we see one on one of the animals, we'll pick it off and see if we can teach it to swim, and they sink. It seems that the soap or the detergent, one drop in the cup of water, seems to reduce the surface tension so that the ticks cannot swim too well. So we keep trying with reduced surface tension to see how which is the hardiest swimmer of the ticks, and none of them seems to be able to swim. Dr. Shealy, mood drugs. That's something that you posted or you sent an email about mood drugs. What are your thoughts?
Well, everything that the psychiatrist recommends, they're mood drugs for anxiety to quiet you down, mood drugs to help you sleep, mood drugs to keep you from being anxious, mood drugs supposedly to get you out of depression. And the kindest thing I can say about any of them is they suck. I do not know a mood drug that I would recommend, prescribe, or allow into my body. They are all dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. The anti-anxiety drugs are good for reducing anxiety. They convert it to depression. The anti-depression drugs just make you, at best, slightly blah, and markedly increase your risk of suicide. I mean, that's a simple approach.
Is there a link between smoking and depression?
Oh, yes. No question about it. Smokers tend to be more introverted, and they tend to be much more depressed than non-smokers.
Is there a link between smoking and suicide?
Yes, again, because they are more depressed.
And yet our government has not banned smoking.
Let's face it, our government is as crooked as the international mafia. Maybe more so.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. And, believe it or not, there are fewer and fewer people taking exception to some of the things that we say here on this broadcast about, the corruption and the defective people who are in politics. Dr. Shealy, I got an email from one of our instructors. And in her county, the county, we'll call them commissioners, if you will, people who run the county, have approved the installation of wind turbines. Now, these are 5-story tall structures that have these 3-blade rotor wind turbines, and they make this low frequency sound. They slice and dice birds trying to fly through them. They create electromagnetic radiation, and they're connected to high tension power lines, which are of high voltage. I'm trying to figure out why we are doing this. It seems to me that the answer to electric consumption here at our farm has always been reduce. Not get a bigger power meter that can spin faster. That's not the plan. The plan is to reduce the electric consumption that we have. Turn off devices, not use devices, not waste electricity. But yet we're looking for new ways of increasing the production of electricity. The lady who sent me this email, it's a post on our website, usaprepares.com, page number 1. Her email to me is posted on page number 1 right now. She's very concerned about the electromagnetic radiation and these wind farms that have just popped up. She's concerned about the corruption of the politicians in her county who have approved them. Dr. Shealy, are you concerned personally, and I'll say this, I am, about wind turbines, about more power generation, about more electromagnetic activity on the planet? Are you concerned from a perspective of, not from an eyesore, but from a health standpoint?
Well, I don't know that the negative effects of electromagnetic, creation with wind turbines out in the middle of the desert is hazardous.
Well, these are in a community. This is where people live.
But now we know that having your house near a regular electric line, a big one, a big transformer, is risky. And when we were looking for our farm 32 years ago, we turned down 2 farms because there was a huge, transformer too near the farm.
Right. When we come back from this commercial announcement, can we talk more about electromagnetic radiation? It's invisible. You can't see it. You can't taste it, but it's there. And the effects that it has on the human body. Can we talk about that when we come back? Dr. Norman Shealy. Norm Shealy, by now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit goberkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products, most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Attention taxpayers! If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 877-345-7645. That's 877-345-7645. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately at 1-877-345-7645. That's 1-877-345-7645. 1-877-345-7645.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer Bidbit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co. Bidbit.co.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Class Dr. Shealy's with us, and I'm very concerned about electromagnetic radiation. I've taken a lot of precautions here at the farm to make sure that we've minimized our exposure. We moved to a place that is far away from cell towers. We've moved where we're far away from power distribution substations. We don't have overhead wires on the farm. All of our electrical service is underground. The nearest power transformer to our home from an electrical delivery system is about 1,300 feet away. So we've taken a lot of precautions, and I'd just like to have you hear Dr. Norman Shealy's take from a medical perspective about electromagnetic radiation and the potential to do harm to us, cancers and so forth. Dr. Shealy?
Well, I think that the 60-cycle stuff that's delivered in and around our houses is potentially harmful if you sit near it. Now, I have a bit of perhaps as much of a fetish about it as you do. I have a little Gauss meter that I use frequently to determine what's going on around me. Fluorescent lights are among the worst. So you don't want fluorescent lights. Actually, a refrigerator, if you sit near it, is among the worst. The old electric typewriters, which are probably extinct now, were also extremely bad. Computers themselves are not so bad, although the laptops are better than the desktops. And the printers are particularly bad when they print. So you should never be near a printer while it's printing. Walk away at least 6 feet. Television is bad, and television, even when it's turned off, if you're right up at the screen, within a foot of it, you're getting extra unhealthy, if you will, electromagnetic energy. The evidence is pretty strong that exposure to as much as 3 milligauss, 3,000ths of a gauss of electromagnetic 60-cycle activity to your brain increases the risk of brain cancer and leukemia. Now, it's impossible to avoid all of it, of course. You just do the best you can. And certainly you don't want your house near one of those big transformers. When it's more than 50 feet away, it's probably not harmful, the transformer. Now, I'm talking about the regular, routine along the way transformers, not the huge generating in, fields of them. There is some evidence that wearing something called a Q pendant, the Clarus, C-L-A-R-U-S, Q pendant. I have no financial interest in it, but I did do research on it, and it seems to protect the brain at least from up to 50 milligauss of electromagnetic current. Now, when you get on an airplane, of course, when the engines rev up to take off, you're getting well over 50 milligauss. You can't avoid it. And so I do like to wear my Q pendant when I travel. I guess that's the most I can say about it at the moment.
Okay. Dr. Shealy, one of the things that many of us have in our homes, we have one, but we very, very rarely use it. I haven't heard this thing fire up in years, is a electric hair dryer. One of those things you hold in your hand and you blow hot air, toward your, blow hot air toward your hair and dry it. Those things produce a lot of electromagnetic radiation because there's an electric motor right in your hand.
Oh yeah, it's bad. Also, by the way, Vince, an electric shaver. I gave up electric shavers almost 40 years ago because the evidence was already accumulating that men who used those had a higher risk of brain cancer.
Wow, brain cancer. So electromagnetic radiation from that vibrating electric shaver or the rotary shaver, the hair dryer. And think about this, class. How about that electric can opener? You put your hand right on it, and there's an electric motor right there. And then you have those old Telcron electric clocks. Those things that use 60 cycles to operate, 60 cycle AC current. Those are where our concerns are. Dr. Norman Shealy, thank you so much for being with us. And we're going to do the DE test in 2 weeks. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you. I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Youngevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesteam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com.